World War I, the Great War, the war to end all wars. But as history would tell us, it was only the beginning of a much larger conflict. This is the story of how one spark led to the deadliest war the world had ever seen, and how the world was forever changed by it. It all began on June 28, 1914. In Sarajevo, a young Serbian nationalist named Gavrilo Princip took the life of Archduke Franz Ferdinand, heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne. This single act of violence ignited a chain reaction that would engulf Europe and the world in war. Europe was a powder keg of alliances and rivalries. On one side, you had the Allies, France, the United Kingdom, and Russia. On the other, the Central Powers, Germany, Austria-Hungary, and the Ottoman Empire. When Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia, Russia mobilized in defense of its Slavic ally. Germany declared war on Russia, and soon the entire continent was at war. By the fall of 1914, the war had settled into a horrific stalemate. Soldiers on the Western Front dug into long, narrow trenches where they would face unspeakable conditions, mud, rats, disease, and the constant threat of death from machine guns and artillery. This was the reality of trench warfare. The war saw the first major use of modern technology. Airplanes soared through the skies while tanks rumbled across the battlefield. The horrors of chemical warfare, like chlorine and mustard gas, became a terrifying new form of weaponry, leaving soldiers with burns and respiratory damage. One of the most harrowing moments of the war came during the Battle of the Somme in 1916. Over 1 million men would be wounded or killed in this single battle, which lasted for months. Soldiers charged into machine gun fire, and the ground was littered with the bodies of the fallen. Meanwhile, on the Eastern Front, Russia struggled against the Central Powers. But it was not just the battlefield that faced turmoil. In 1917, the Russian Revolution erupted and the Russian Empire collapsed under the weight of internal strife. The new Bolshevik government led by Lenin would soon pull Russia out of the war altogether, leaving the Allies to fight on without one of their major partners. In 1917, the war took another dramatic turn when the United States entered the conflict. Germany's unrestricted submarine warfare had pushed America to declare war. With fresh troops and supplies, the Allies gained a new sense of hope. The tide of the war was turning. As the dust of war began to settle, a new mission emerged, rebuilding a shattered world and establishing peace. The world leaders gathered in Paris in 1919 to lay down the terms of a new reality. The Treaty of Versailles, aimed at ensuring lasting peace, would reshape the map of Europe, creating new nations and sowing seeds of future conflict. World War I changed the world in ways that we are still grappling with today. It marked the end of an era and the beginning of a new turbulent century. Let us remember the lives lost, the sacrifices made, and the lessons learned. For in history, the echoes of war still resonate. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video to keep the memory of World War I alive for future generations.